So one of the reasons we decided to partner with ASI is because of the huge growth and demand in compute capacity for the AI industry. This has grown substantially over the last 2.5 years. Most people know, one form or another, they're involved in AI. And we are one of the ideal networks that's out there. We're one of the largest compute networks in the world. We've got thousands of GPUs which are actually live running on the network. We've done over 15 million GPU hours across the network since our merger last year, and grown huge amounts of computing on that side. This is based on the highest performing computing that's out there. AI needs the highest performing computing. Historically, that's been things like H100s and H200s. We're now moving, and this was like the Hopper generation, we're now moving into Blackwell. And this is all huge amounts of compute. So the partnership and ASI is all about AI infrastructure. It's about agents, it's about running platforms to automate AI. And it's actually about getting to the point of AGI, where we have a superintelligence that is running across the globe. So we were the ideal network from their perspective to power that and enable us to power it distributed globally across containers, data centers, high capacity computing all around the world. And from our perspective, 99% of the use case of our type of computing that we supply is AI. So it was the absolute natural fit. And we believe completely in distribution and decentralization in how their network has worked. And ours is pretty much the largest global distributed network out there to be able to service that. So working together was a natural fit. We then focused on that last year. The merger went through in Q4 last year, or towards the end of last year. And that enabled us first to merge the token, which we did across different blockchains and exchanges. We then technically merged it and merged the blockchains together. And that enables us to start to integrate the tech stack. And then the next focus after that was actually to be able to integrate the consumption and building of AI with the consumption and building of compute, and having those two perfectly aligned. And that's what we've been working on since. So there's been huge amounts of development in the background, R&D, building, and now from the start of 2025, we're now starting to see these applications and things going live. So the demand in compute has grown significantly since we joined. If you look on the network, actually live and being used is over 20 petaflops of computing capacity, huge amounts of compute, and that's going up on a weekly basis. There's now over 30,000 users that have signed up and are using compute across the network. So significant growth on that side. And what we've been doing is building integrations. And what we, from a roadmap perspective, we want it really simple for people to be able to build AI and people to be able to scale on that compute. So there's development being done inside ASI, and there's also development from the community and partners that we're working with. So every week or so, you'll probably see in the market brand new models coming out. So you've got DeepSeek coming out, you've got Quen coming out, and then within a week or a few more weeks, another model's coming out, the latest release, and there's a huge competition. But you've seen that explosive growth in these markets in the last year or so, really, where these applications have now become open source. They all started out when Microsoft and Google and OpenAI all had it closed sourced, and they owned the market. What's happened now is that these applications have become an open source, which means anyone could build their own AI application. It means the cost of compute significantly has gone down, as in hundreds of times cheaper than it would have been to use these other service providers. So what this does is it enables anyone to build applications more cost effectively, to own the data, to have control of that data, not have risk that someone else is going to steal your information and data as well. So that's the perfect alignment between this compute network and the AI. Because that's now open source, it means that these applications can be built and scaled out much more easily, which is what our network is absolutely ideal for, and it's why you see bigger adoption. So what we have now is we have a cadence of open source models are now being developed and released onto the network. And you'll see that we've got ones like DeepSeek with Manus. These other ones are constantly going to be coming out, which creates really significant demand on that side. Inside ASI, we've actually been building things like Train, ASI Train, ASI Create. Create is actually enabling people to really build their own AI applications and models. Train is actually enabling people to improve and fine-tune models. All of them need high-performance computing. That can all be done natively on the chain. So this has really been a perfect scenario of us working together on these. And you'll see that significant growth. We've literally just released, I think in the last week or so, we released the stats on our website showing that huge growth that we're getting on the computing capacity. And it's really been continued growth. One of the core areas that we've been focusing on from a roadmap perspective now is actually the support for bare metal. So if you, from a technology perspective, if you kind of understand how this market works, you have containers at the top, you have virtualization in the middle, and then you have bare metal, which is kind of access to the raw servers themselves. And the deeper you go in the stack, typically the larger the client, and also the more control. So we started kind of at that middle layer, and we've been going down because as our clients have become bigger and the number of users are becoming bigger, we're giving them more and more control and ownership of that. So I think we are the first in the blockchain space to release bare metal management on our type of network, which gives it significant advantage over the other platforms that are out there, and means that people that are building and developing can really take complete control of that environment. It's still all one global stack. And then from that, we then have cluster management coming out shortly. And that enables people to actually manage clusters. So we have providers or users of the platform needing thousands of GPUs at a time. And you need to run that as a cluster. You can't, the technology is not there to train these types of models in distributed locations. So they have to take 1,000 or a few thousand GPUs here, a few thousand GPUs here. So we've been specializing our platform to be able to support, manage, and run these clusters for these huge customers that are out there, which really brings it even to the next scale that we've got on that side. And then to support that, what we now have inside ASI, you'll have seen a while back, they had a commitment in 2024 to buy computing capacity for AI. That's been progressing, and that is actually on its way to Sweden at the moment. So this is going to be the first distributed containerized data center that's going to be deployed in Sweden. So the hardware that's deploying there is NVIDIA H200s. These are the greatest GPUs that you could buy last year in the AI space, made up of hundreds of these units, and that's for training, so people can build and train. So when you've got ASI Train, you've got ASI Create, that will run on those environments. And then also they have the L40Ss are also going live in Sweden. And these are used for inference. So that's when you're talking to the AI. And that provides scale when you want to talk it. So that's brilliant across this capacity that's going to be going live in Sweden shortly. It's all renewable energy. It's in a sustainable location, a sustainable data center. And this is the first of many that are going to be deployed all around the world. So it means that this is greater utility of the ASI token, because that means that people can then pay directly in ASI, the payments run in ASI, and it's all the way through the ASI stack. So this will be the first of many other deployments going live, and it will become a natural part of the network with all of the other providers out there. So with all of this technology and substantial growth in AI space, we have incentives to get everybody building on the applications, giving feedback on the applications, actually building development as well. So we've got ASI Create, we've got ASI Train coming out shortly. We've got ASI 1, so you can already do that and go on and use these models. So try the platforms, give us feedback, get involved in the developer programs. Now is the right time to build these applications. You could be building the next best AI application out there.